Could there be civilizations in the universe that can use magic? The magic we imagine usually involves making some strange gestures, accompanied by some incomprehensible and unlearnable incantations. And then you can cast fireballs, lightning, mind reading, time stop, succubus summoning, and so on. There doesn't seem to be any underlying principle to it. For us staunch materialists, it's really hard to understand. After all, here, most phenomena have theoretical explanations. Apples fall because of gravity. Ships float because of buoyancy. We don't slip when we walk because of friction. And, well, poop splits because you didn't take off your tight jeans. In short, there's a principle behind every phenomenon. But in the magical world, I really can't understand why just pointing a wooden stick at someone and shouting Avada Kedavra makes them die. But let's open our minds and brainstorm a bit. Let's suppose there's a parallel universe like this, where the physical laws we know don't exist, there are no four fundamental forces, but instead, the universe is filled with magical elements that the human body can absorb. For them, it's been a truth since ancient times that humans can unleash frost, fire, lightning, and manipulate earth, stone, and air. Although the underlying logic of the two worlds is different, the way they operate is similar. We use the rules of physics, while they use the rules of magic. This makes it easy to understand. In the magical world, a wizard's apprentice can cast a spell by reciting an incantation. In the technological world, a middle school student also recites an incantation, meow meow meow, and can solve a math problem. There doesn't really seem to be any fundamental difference between the two. We find magic to be fantastical, but people in the magical world see our technology as just as magical. I hold a small glowing screen, typing a few mysterious characters, and I can watch a beautiful woman perform a mirror dance for me. That's basically an advanced succubus summoning spell. Magic emphasizes rituals, and our science also values procedures. Our wizard strikes a pose, chants an incantation, infuses some magic into a broom, and flies 30 kilometers. I pull out my phone, scan a code to pay, add 2 liters of gasoline to my car, and I can also go 30 kilometers. So, technological civilization and magical civilization are like windows, and each system has its own order, but they just aren't compatible with each other. If a highly respected Grand Mage came to our world, since there are no magical elements to absorb here, after all his humming and dancing, his power probably wouldn't even match Mr. Mars' 5 consecutive lightning whips. Similarly, if we traveled to a magical world and started talking to them about things like universal gravitation, it would be no different from promoting atheism in the Vatican. That would be heresy, and we'd be burned at the stake. Of course, if magic can also be analyzed, studied, and structured, then it's just another kind of science. It's just that our theoretical system can't explain it. So you could say that science is magic that we already understand, and magic is science that we don't yet understand. Although their principles are different, they can achieve similar effects. Otherwise, tell me there's a tram that can stop time count as technology or as magic. In the animated version of The Avengers, there was a scene where Iron Man created a magic suppression field. When Scarlet Witch showed up, he activated the field, causing her magic to fail. As a result, Iron Man concluded that magic is, after all, just another form of technology. And in some fantasy novels, magic, just like our science, also requires systematic study. So don't think that riding a broomstick or throwing fireballs is easy. In reality, you have to take flying classes to ride a broomstick, and spellcasting classes to throw fireballs. Their potions class is equivalent to our medicine, and alchemy is similar to our material science. Our high school students have to take annual college entrance exams and 3-year practice tests, while their magic apprentices also have to do annual spellcasting and 3-year chanting tests and the like. And the hierarchy of wizards is quite similar to our academic system. A gray-robed wizard is equivalent to an associate degree, while a white-robed wizard is like a bachelor's degree. Put that way, Gandalf the Grey fighting the Balrog reborn. And becoming Gandalf the White is like self-studying from associate to bachelor degree. And if our outstanding student Duan Xiaoyi were placed in a world of magic, she'd definitely be a grand archmage, the kind who could found her own school. Here's a trending topic on Bihu. If technological civilization and magical civilization went to war, which one would be stronger? This is a pointless question. They're not based on shared worldview. Who's stronger really just depends on the author's imagination and how they set things up. Sure, your magical civilization has Avada Kedavra, but if I'm holding a Desert Eagle with a Magnum, all I can say is, Voldemort, your spell isn't fast enough, and it's definitely not ruthless enough. Your magical world has double disaster damage, but if I'm carrying a flamethrower, can't I just call it the Joy of Fire or the Delight of Flames? You have large-scale forbidden spells, but we've got the Dongong Type 21 Meteor Dust Annihilation technique. If we keep exaggerating, you've got Dimensional Banishment, but then I'll just have to bring out the 2-dimensional blade. So if we're really comparing who's more powerful, it all just comes down to who can brag better. But one thing is certain, if magic, like technology, is also about harnessing the laws of the universe, then once a magical civilization develops far far enough, it'll probably end up just like ours. On one hand, they would explore the essence of the universe from the microscopic world, discovering things like micromagic and quantum magic studies. On the other hand, they would venture further into outer space, using magical shields and flight spells to travel into space just like us, setting out for the stars and the sea.